Alright, so let's look at some fraction decimal percent problems here. So here we have 80 students found that 50 of them live on campus, and we know what percent actually live on campus. So we know that 50 students lived on campus and there are 80 students surveyed. So that tells us that we can do 50 out of 80, and that'll give us 625 thousandths. And we know that to convert the decimal to percent, we're then going to say the 625 thousandths times 100, which will give us 62.5%. So we can say that 62.5% of the students live on campus. The next one here, when checking for errors, we got 4 out of every 200 shirts are missing a button. So the key there is that 4 out of every 200 shirts. So here we know that that would be 4 out of 200, and we will know what the percent is. If I divide this into its decimal form, I get 2 hundredths. So I'm going to take 2 hundredths, multiply by 100%, and that'll give me 2%. So 2% of the shirts are missing a button. This next one here, we got that in a class of 23 students, 17 are female, and we know what percent of the class is female. So here again, we have 17 out of 23, and when we divide this, we actually get a very long decimal value, and it will start off as like 73913 and keeps going on depending on how long your calculator is. Now, because we're looking at a percent, normally percents only go often 2 or 3 decimal places beyond what the actual percent is. So if you've got the original decimal is over 5 or 6 decimal places, you can probably go to just like the 5th or 6th, stop there, and then move forward to change it to its percent. So I'm going to say I multiply that by 100, and I'm going to use the double squiggles. That means about. Instead of exactly, that means approximately 73.9%. And here the fourth one. Say that 7 of the 32 teams in the NFL, their primary jersey color is red. So what percent has red as their primary jersey color? So again, the key here is that 7 of the 32 teams. So that tells me 7 out of 32. And when I change that to its decimal form, I'm going to get 21,875 hundred thousandths. So when I multiply that by 100, again, I can just use the approximation and say that that's about 21.9%. And I round it up because I looked at the 8, went 1 decimal place to the right and saw, oh, or 1 place value to the right, so yeah, I would round up there. So it's about 21.9%, and maybe you would even just say it's about 22% of the teams to give a better estimation.